Shalom. I want to begin by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi Bahasham Qadash. Double honors to my apostles and elders, great minister who rule well, teach well. Much respect to you, brothers laboring worldwide in truth and sincerity. Salutations and blessings to the hopeful elect, believing on the words of Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. The title of this lesson I got was from Luke 21 and verse 25. It says, signs in the sun and in the moon. Okay, and it also says distress upon the earth with the nations in perplexity, meaning they don't have the answers. It's protests and uproars around the world. All right, but this is what the Lord said, that these are going to be the signs to look for. We remember how the Sadducees, right, and the Pharisees, the wicked of those, asked for a sign. Matter of fact, let's get that. And the Lord said, what? You won't get nothing but the sign of the prophet Jonas. Meaning what? These people are going to be blind, oblivious to the prophecies coming past right before their eyes. Okay? This is Matthew 16:1. The Pharisees also with the Sadducees came, and tempting desired him that he would show them a sign from heaven. Right? He answered and said unto them, when it is evening, ye say, it will be fair weather, for the sky is red. And in the morning, it will be foul weather today, for the sky is red and lowering. Yeah, you can discern, the weather, all right, by different patterns in the sky, right? But what? O ye hypocrites, ye can discern the face of the sky, see? But can ye not discern the signs of the times? Right? Can you not see these prophecies coming to pass? Alright, knowing that we are at the end of this thing. Okay? It says, a wicked and adulterous generation seeketh after a sign. Right? And there shall no sign be given unto it but the sign of the prophet Jonas. And he left them and departed. In other words, Yahawah said, man, you have eyes, but you can't see. You have ears, but you can't hear. All right, and the only sign that you're gonna see is the sign of the prophet Jonas. With what he went out there and prophesied the downfall of Nineveh. All right, and America is the new Nineveh. Okay, it wasn't destroyed at that time, but the Lord ended up destroying Nineveh, man. All right, that prophecy came to pass, as this one will also. But again, this wicked and adulterous generation seeketh after a sign, and the Lord is blocking the understanding for all these things coming to pass. So this month, let me see if I can play this video. This month, on May the 26th, is going to be what they calling it a super flower blood moon. All right, which is going to coincide with the eclipse. All right, the Lord said these things are going to occur, all right, before his coming. Let's see if we can play this video. Super flower bud moon. Freeze up, right? But you see it. It says, when this occurs, the only light that reaches the moon's surface is from the edges of the Earth's atmosphere. It says specifically, can we go back? Dang. Hold on. Bear with me. Let's play it from there. This blood moon will combine with May's full flower moon and a total eclipse to create a super flower blood moon. Signs in the earth and in the moon and in the earth and in the sun, man. This event will be visible to the entire world, but only the Pacific Rim will see the eclipse reach totality at 11:11 to 11:25 UTC. It says this event will be visible to the entire world, man. Okay? And that's it on that article. We got what we wanted. Alright, you got what's going on in Colombia. This article was done May 16th, 2021, the year of hastening the coming of Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. Colombia protests enter week 3. Right? It says as violence escalates, right? And this was pbs.org. Says at least 42 people have died, thousands have been injured, hundreds are believed to be missing as widespread protests and violence against Colombia continue for a third week. The demonstrations began over a pandemic-related tax policy, unrighteous decree, right? And escalated over charges of police violence against protesters, man. You see? What's going on, man? We got this thing going on all over the world. Different protests, different uprisings. Oh, I got a article, right, queued up about these pro-Palestinian protests here in the U.S. Let's see if we can play this.
Year after year, PBS has been your home for the best history and documentary programs.
People persisted. People made a difference.
The faces have changed. The stories have changed. The world has changed.
This is an incredible story.
What defines us is our minds and our hearts.
But our commitment to bring you the best history and documentary programs has stayed the same. Thank you for your support and keep watching for exciting new films right here on PBS.
A third week of widespread protests and violence across Colombia has left at least 42 people dead, thousands injured, and hundreds believed to be missing. The demonstrations began over an unpopular pandemic-related tax overhaul and have escalated over charges of excessive force used by police against the protesters. NewsHour Weekend's Yvette Feliciano spoke with Sandra Borda Guzman, Associate Professor at Los Andes University in Bogota, about the ongoing conflict.
The protests began at the end of April due to outrage over the now canceled tax plan. Why did that tax plan cause so much unrest?
Right after the pandemic and the confinement that the government used in order to, face this danger, the economy suffered quite a bit. The tax reform was sort of an excuse that people used to go to the street and basically to let the government know that they needed more social policies.
Who is leading the protests, and overall, what are their demands?
There's a strike committee, and it is composed by labor union leaders, student organization leaders, members of the indigenous communities, the teacher union, and they are the ones in charge of negotiating with the government. However, it's getting more and more difficult to come to an agreement because the government is very weak. So I think that conversations are going to take a long while.
A local advocacy group in Colombia says that 40 protesters have allegedly been killed by national police.
Yeah, this is probably the most important problem right now. This is even more acute in difficult neighborhoods in main cities, Cali, Bogota, where young people already had a very contentious relationship with police, and then on top of this whole thing, we have a lot of disappearances. There's more than 100 people, more than 100 young people that we don't know where they are, that they were basically retained by the police, illegally retained, and they give no information where these people are now.
And obviously, these protests are happening at a time during the COVID-19 pandemic, and the authorities in several of Colombia's largest cities are warning that there might be another spike in infections. Can Colombia handle another spike?
We haven't even been able to handle the first and the second spike, but that's an argument that you cannot basically use because people right now in the streets are so desperate about the economic situation that they say they have nothing to lose. We are all aware that this is going to be a problem, especially taking into account that the government hasn't been able to negotiate a substantial amount of vaccines for people here in Colombia, and that's going to make the situation way more difficult than what we're seeing right now.
What is the U.S.'s role in this crisis?
Fortunately, we have the Biden administration.
You see, why would they even go to the U.S. role in this thing? Because guess what, man, the place where wickedness is sown has been spread out throughout all the world. All right, and they look for the philosophy, all right, the ways of America to dictate how they should act. That's why you see these kidnappings, man, these police killings in these different various countries. They going after the ways of Babylon the Great. We'll let her finish. It's about another minute and 27 or 22 seconds, and then we'll go to the next article.
Paying a lot of attention to human rights problems. The House of Representatives is paying attention to what's happening in Colombia because we have a lot of cooperation, security cooperation. If the public force in Colombia commits violations to human rights, they have a way to punish them for doing that, just cutting this security aid. And also, I think that the State Department is paying close attention to what's happening in terms of human rights.
We've heard reports that some roads have been blocked into Cali, one of the largest cities in Colombia.
It's getting difficult to move from one place to the other, and this
Oh man, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able to. See, all these things are happening to our brothers and sisters in these other various countries. Guess what? It's gonna come here to Babylon the Great. Okay? She said that the biggest city has been blocked off and they're having trouble. Matter of fact, let's rewind to 10 seconds.
Roads have been blocked into Cali, one of the largest cities in Colombia.
It's getting difficult to move from one place to the other, and this has affected the supply of gasoline, food, and necessary services. However, the indigenous...
Now, remember, earlier this week, the bridge in, I believe, connecting two states, I want to say, one of them is Arkansas, and Memphis, maybe. Arkansas and Texas, I believe. Not Texas, Tennessee. But this bridge now has a huge crack, and they done shut down that bridge, okay? And the supplies that were being carried from that particular, carried on that particular bridge is now able to be supplied now. All right, the same thing she just said. Gas shortage, right? Food. But guess what? These things are coming to America, Babylon the Great.
Community, the ones who are leading the demonstration in Cali, have implemented humanitarian corridors that you can use to get basic supplies through without stopping the strike.
Sandra Borda Guzman, Associate Professor at the University of the Andes and columnist at El Tiempo News. Thank you so much for joining us.
All right, you see it, man. All right. Matter of fact, let's get it. Luke chapter 21 and verse 25. And there shall be signs in the sun and in the moon and in the stars and upon the earth distress of nations. with perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring. Yeah, man. We see it playing out. Alright, these are the signs that the Lord said look for, right? The return of Hamashiach. It's plain. It's clear. Let's go to the next article. Okay? It's from CNN.com. People, and it was done when? Today. May 18th, 2021. Year of hastening the coming of Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, right? Says people across the U.S. join pro-Palestinian protests. You see? Let's see if we can play this video. Will it play? Bear with me. Let's see if we can get this thing to play. Damn commercial.
Why would your kids need a Greenlight debit card? Imagine a debit card and app designed to help them develop healthy financial habits, to teach them how to save and encourage them to set their own goals. Now imagine the difference it could make in their lives, in their futures. Greenlight.
Occupation's gotta go!
Okay, we see it, man. Alright, this is the works of Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. All his prophecies are going to come to pass, matter of fact. Let's go to the Apocrypha. Okay? And for us to have the eyesight, you know, it's important to take heed and continue in the faith. Okay? Or what? That we may be counted worthy to escape all those things that are coming. Right? 2nd Ezra chapter 15 and verse 1. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in their mouth, saith the Lord, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. Fear not the imaginations against thee, let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee. And yet we often go into that word incredulity, which means what? Unbelief. For all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. Behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world. You see, upon the world. The sword, famine, and man, the Lord has a great famine prepared for the world. Death and destruction. Why? For wickedness have exceedingly polluted the whole earth. We mentioned that earlier. How these nations go after the way of Esau. Well, that's where the wickedness radiates from, or basically comes from, right? For wickedness have exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hopeful works are fulfilled. You see, so they're at their ripeness. That's why you see the activity that's circling the world right now. Okay, let's go here. Acts chapter 2. Okay, more of the signs in the end of days. Okay, Acts 2, I'm gonna start at 17. The point is in 19. And it shall come to pass in the last days, you see, in the last days, saith the Most High, I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh. And how is he pouring out his spirit? By the way of his prophets, man. Alright, letting his words be known, being declared throughout all the earth. Matter of fact, let's get a quick precept. Let's go to Proverbs 1. The Lord is pouring out his spirit, okay? And there's no more excuses. Proverbs 1, and I'm gonna get to the point. Verse 23. Turn you at my reproof. Behold, I will pour out my spirit unto you. You see, I will make known my words unto you. And how is he doing it? Alright, starting with our apostles and elders on down. Alright, and the Lord has put his words in our mouth to declare his decree. Alright, what he has purpose for the whole world. Wisdom warns. Oh man, that's bad. Wisdom warns. Okay, and that's what the Lord has given us, wisdom to warn you of the impending said perils. Alright, we just read them in 2nd Ezra 15. Again, it says, I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh. Alright, and your sons and your daughters shall prophesy. Right, and your young men shall see visions, and your old men shall dream dreams. Now, women are not going to be out there on the corners, all right, calling for precepts. And when they say prophesy, you may get a dream, okay, and it will be interpreted by a man of the Lord. That's how the women are going to prophesy, or daughters shall prophesy. Okay, we often have to touch on that, because you'll have a bug out, you know, saying that women can go out and teach when the scriptures don't say that. Verse 18, and on my servants and on my handmaidens will I pour out in those days of my spirit, and they shall prophesy. See, and I will show wonders in heaven above and signs in the earth beneath. Well, yeah, man, these different earthquakes, these different protests, uproars of the people. All right, these different blood moons. All right, this super blood moon is coming up on the 26th. Right. These are the signs that the Lord said will be what? In the last days. It says, and I will show wonders, okay, in heaven above and signs in the earth beneath. Blood and fire and vapor of smoke. And we have seen countless volcanoes from these earthquakes start to erupt. They haven't been erupted in years, man. Right? The sun shall be turned into darkness and the moon into blood. You see? Before the great and notable day of the Lord come. You see that? And that's what we had in these prophecies. Alright, now I have one more article that I want to get. We'll get a couple more precepts and close it out. Now I don't know if you've seen this, but it's a mega drought going on. And really from the Mississippi all the way back into the West Coast. But it's actually spreading. And even with all these floodings, these emergencies being declared, guess what? It's still a mega drought. And the Lord is not playing. Okay? Says this was the weather, weather.com. Alright. This was done 4 hours ago. Breaking news. Flooding emergencies declared in Louisiana, Texas. Widespread flooding reported in Baton Rouge, right? And you know, Louisiana is a hub of wickedness, man. That's why the Lord destroyed that place with that hurricane, okay? Because of all the wickedness that resides. You got people practicing all type of witchcraft down there, okay? Let's see if we can rewind this. Get this to play, get a little information. Bear with me.
Weather is packing a wallop across parts of the South. Flash flood emergencies have been declared in Texas and Louisiana, where more than 17 inches of rain has fallen in some places. In Lake Charles, Louisiana, streets have turned into rivers, homes and businesses flooded, cars stranded. The city can't seem to catch a break. It's still reeling from Hurricanes Laura and Delta last year and an ice storm in February. Authorities there are asking people to stay off the roads. In Texas, more trouble. Floodwaters are inundating homes of Gannett, just south of Beaumont. Significant flooding has also been reported in parts of Port Arthur and Jasper County.
You see? This is the Lord of hosts doing these things, man. He
Requesting
controls
halal?
all of that.
You've got choices.
Salakia. Okay? What did the Lord say? He have his way in the whirlwind? Matter of fact, let's get that right quick. Right? Well, guess who's causing all these things? There's the Lord of hosts. Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. Okay. Nahum. Chapter 1 and verse 3. The Lord is slow to anger and great in power, and will not at all acquit the wicked. The Lord hath his way in the whirlwind and in the storm, and the clouds are the dust of his feet. You see? Well, guess what we're seeing, man? We're seeing the Lord bringing floods, all right, widespread destruction, all right. Why? Because he's destructuring Babylon the Great. We read that in 2nd Ezra, destruction, right? So he's taking away their structure. He's taking away their staff, their whole state. Let's go back to Luke 21. Okay, let's read this again. And there shall be signs in the sun and in the moon and in the stars, and upon the earth distress of nations, with perplexity the sea and the waves roaring. You see? Men's heart failing them for fear, and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth, for the powers of heaven shall be shaken. Yeah, when they see Yahawashi coming in his glory, and those nuclear missiles coming down, also, guess what? Folks gonna be trying to give up the ghost, right? And then shall they see the Son of Man, see? And then shall they see the Son of Man coming in a cloud, chariot, with power and great glory. And when these things begin to come to pass, look up, and lift up your heads, for your redemption draweth nigh. See? Redemption draweth nigh. Let's jump down to verse 34. And take heed to yourselves, lest at any time your hearts be overcharged with surfeiting and drunkenness and cares of this life, so that day come upon you unaware. For as a snare shall it come on all them that dwell on the face of the whole earth. Why? Because they don't have the eyesight to know what time they're in. Alright? Watch ye therefore, and pray always, that ye may be accounted worthy to escape all these things that shall come to pass, and to stand before the Son of Man. You see? And that's where we at in these prophecies. Everything is coming to pass. Alright? So stay prayed up, stay watchful. That's going to be it for the lesson. Lord willing, it's been edifying. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi Bahasham Qadash. Double honors to my apostles and elders, great millstone, who rule well, teach well. Much respect to you, brothers, laboring worldwide in truth and sincerity. Lord willing, coming at you on a lesson. Till the next time I say, Shalom.